the Adam Silver's going to do a great job, and the law enforcement community, they're going to do a great job of cleaning it up, and it should be cleaned up. I remember growing up, the game was pure, and it needs to remain pure. I like to call it this thing of ours, and this thing of ours, we're making great money now. Charles Barkley always talks about how the most he made was $2 million. Now you got guys making 30, 40, 50, 60,
Wow.
$70 million. So we definitely need to protect this thing of ours, and I can't wait till they clean it all up.
Fresh allegations are shaking the sports world as the NBA player and coach scandal spirals out of control, pulling in stars from the NBA, NFL, and even boxing. Reports now point to Kevin Garnett, Tyronn Lue, and Antonio Gates, and fans online are losing their minds over who's next. But all eyes are on Chauncey Billups. The evidence against him keeps stacking up, and insiders say he's not sitting still. He's brought in a powerhouse defense team to fight back. Leading that team, Mark Mukasey. That move alone has the whole league buzzing, wondering just how deep Billups might be in this mess. According to Yahoo Sports, Mark Mukasey specializes in white-collar defense and has represented several high-profile clients, including Navy SEAL Eddie Gallagher, who was acquitted of murder in 2019. What's wild is that this isn't even the only NBA case Mukasey is handling right now. Turns out Mark Mukasey isn't just defending Chauncey Billups.
The first case, Operation Nothing But Bet, exposed a gambling ring built around professional basketball, where players and associates allegedly used inside information to manipulate prop bets on major sports betting platforms. They placed wagers on unders on players to score less, rebound less, assist less, using information that was not yet public.
He's also backing Joe Sandberg, co-founder of Aspiration, the same company rumored to have slipped Kawhi Leonard's secret payouts under the table. Word is they used a fake shell company to pump extra cash into Kawhi's deal without raising eyebrows. What a sneaky setup. But back to Billups, how did he even get dragged into this wild storm? According to ESPN, prosecutors are now zooming in on Robert L. Stroud, a 67-year-old from Louisville with one chilling record. Reports claim Stroud once killed a man during a poker night gone wrong over one losing hand.
This must have been like 5 years ago, 2019-ish, I think, where there was this game. It started in LA and then it came to Vegas for a few days, and it was all built around Chauncey Billups. And the person who told me about it was like, look, I know the game runners. I'm telling you 100% this game is on the up and up. And I was like, well, I know a lot of the people that are involved, and I'm telling you 100% that it is not. I had some friends who went and played it both in LA and in Vegas, and it obviously was for sure confirmed to be cheated.
Imagine that. One bad card and your life's gone in an instant. Back in 2001, cops pulled over Robert L. Stroud for expired tags and found sports betting cards, dice, and full gambling records in his car. This man wasn't just playing the game, he was the game. Investigators claim Stroud recruited Chauncey Billups and Damon Jones to join his crew in rigged poker matches tied to some of New York's biggest crime families. Court files say Stroud used former pro athletes like Billups and Jones to lure wealthy players into his setup. They weren't just guests, they were face cards, helping bait victims while others rigged the deck. In return, Stroud allegedly gave them a cut of the dirty cash. And seriously, how does Billups trust a man who once killed someone over a card game? That's wild. This is exactly the type of guy you'd expect to cheat. And honestly, it's shocking it took this long for it to blow up. It's hard to figure out why this happened, says Keith Corbett, a lawyer and former head of the federal organization Crime Strike Force in Detroit. An insider revealed this isn't anything new. Tons of gamblers have fallen into mob circles just chasing that rush.
The scam involving the NBA was actually quite simple. The group managed to get hold of inside information from the team on when a player was taking time out. They would bet on that and win. The poker scam was far more high-tech. So they had card shuffling machines that could read the cards. That information would be sent by phone to the fraudsters playing the game, and they would be able to predict which player had which hand.
There's always that thrill of breaking the rules for quick, untaxed cash, or the desperation of owing money to the wrong people. Once you're in debt with them, there's no easy way out. It's easy to see how athletes like Chauncey Billups get dragged in. They're wired for competition, and gambling gives them that same adrenaline hit. But instead of staying clean, they dip into underground betting circles where everything's off the books and danger's everywhere. Once you step into that world, there's almost no way to walk away clean. According to Mafia expert Scott Bernstein, underworld figures start targeting athletes early at youth tournaments and shady local events, often organized by criminals themselves. They build trust young so they can cash in later. The asks usually seem harmless, like telling a player to grab fewer rebounds or fake an injury to limit minutes. It's subtle, easy to justify, and they convince themselves it's no big deal. But that's how the trap starts. Small favors that lead to something much darker later on. Another source said what people don't understand about some athletes is that gambling is an extension of their competitive spirit. They want to raise the stakes. These guys go on a plane on a road trip and lose thousands of dollars. We're not talking small bets here. This is thousands on the table. Like Cash Patel said, that's real money. It makes sense why some athletes can't stop. They crave that rush from pressure, fame, and fat contracts. But once the game ends, that thrill doesn't fade. It follows them. Then comes the dark side. One bad bet, one wrong crowd, and suddenly they owe serious cash to underground sharks. It's wild how fast things flip. From the spotlight to the shadows, all over a single losing hand. It says in a September 2023 text message copied in court papers, Damon Jones asked Stroud, the man prosecutors alleged recruited him and Billups into the poker scheme for in advance before a game. Quote, I don't know how much the job pays tomorrow, but can I get a $10,000 advance? God really bless me that you have action for me. I needed it bad. And this story just got wilder. More names are getting dragged in by the day. Poker insiders long whispered that celebs and athletes were part of shady games, and now those whispers are turning into confessions.
In some instances, players altered their performance or took themselves out of games to make sure that those bets paid out. One example occurred on March 23rd, 2023 in Charlotte. Terry Rozier, an NBA player now with the Miami Heat, but at the time playing for the Hornets, allegedly let others close to him know that he planned to leave the game early with a supposed injury. Using that information, members of the group placed more than $200,000 in wagers on his under statistics. Rozier exited the game after just 9 minutes, and those bets paid out, generating tens of thousands of dollars in profit.
At the center of it all is Ryan Feldman, the mastermind behind Hustler Casino Live. He's not just running the show. He's the link tying influencers, athletes, and stars together for these risky poker nights. And now, all eyes are locked on him. Ryan Feldman took to Twitter with a bombshell saying, I heard about these rigged private games a few years ago in Vegas and Miami, run by some bad actors from New York. Don't be surprised if a certain NBA Hall of Famer and a certain boxer get arrested too. Oh, and I forgot, an NFL Hall of Famer as well. That tweet lit social media on fire. Fans went crazy trying to guess who those mystery names could be. A poll popped up asking, who's the boxer? With names like Ryan Garcia, Mike Tyson, and Eubanks. But Feldman shut it down quick, replying, none of them. That only made the internet go crazier. Then came the real shocker. Journalist Pablo Torre revealed that several former pro athletes were mixed up in secret poker games under the DOJ's Operation Royal Flush. Even that name sounds straight out of a Hollywood heist movie, but here's where it gets spicy. Kevin Garnett's name started floating everywhere. Sources say he joined at least one or two of those poker nights, and the whispers haven't stopped since. Torre then hinted this scandal's about to blow up way bigger than anyone expected. A source close to Kevin Garnett told Pablo Torre that Garnett thought he was heading to an after party, not a high-stakes poker game. Once he realized what was happening, he bailed early from the 2019 event in LA. That same source said Garnett hasn't been contacted by federal agents, at least not yet. And while there's no solid proof linking him to the scheme, his quick appearance alone has fans and reporters buzzing nonstop. But Torre wasn't done stirring things up. He dropped another bomb on Twitter, naming Antonio Gates as the NFL Hall of Famer possibly tied to the poker ring scandal. This story's heating up fast, and the list of names keeps growing by the day. Sources say Pro Football Hall of Famer Antonio Gates, the former Chargers tight end, hosted and rigged a secret Miami poker game organized by Curtis Meeks, who was just indicted by federal prosecutors. Meeks, a former boxer with a long criminal record, has been tied to multiple underground poker scandals, and his name keeps resurfacing. These are still just allegations against Gates, while Meeks faces official charges, but if Pablo Torre is tweeting it, there's likely real evidence behind the scenes. this scandal's only getting hotter. According to the New York Post, Antonio Gates didn't just play, he hosted an allegedly rigged poker game organized by Curtis Meeks. Details are still blurry, but Pablo Torre's report matches what the Post revealed earlier. One victim said he and his friends got scammed out of nearly $1 million, with a former NFL player serving as the face card, while Meeks pulled the strings. That's insane. If that checks out, Gates could be in serious trouble once charges drop. But here's the real mystery. Who's the unnamed boxer tangled up in all this if it's not one of the big three already mentioned? And just when things couldn't get messier, another bombshell drops. Tyronn Lue, the Los Angeles Clippers head coach, just got pulled into the mix. According to Pablo Torre, once again, Clippers head coach Tyronn Lue was present at the allegedly rigged April 2019 poker game in Las Vegas. However, sources say Lue didn't play at the same table as his close friend, Blazers head coach Chauncey Billups. The New York Post revealed that Tyronn Lue and Chauncey Billups are extremely close. Lue even called Billups his best friend. When Lue became the Clippers head coach in 2020, he hired Billups as his assistant the very next year. Now, with Billups facing a federal probe, that friendship is raising eyebrows. It's not a great look to be tied to someone under indictment, especially if they both showed up at the same poker game under investigation. Even if it's pure coincidence, the timing couldn't be worse for Lue. Still, he's standing by his friend, publicly defending Billups despite the controversy. I know who he is as a person. I've been with him since I was 17, said Tyronn Lue, defending Chauncey Billups as the scandal deepens. Lue's poker passion is no secret, but his close link to Damon Jones adds fuel to the fire, especially since Jones allegedly tipped gamblers that LeBron James wouldn't play in a February 2023 game against the Bucks. Jones often calls himself a man of God, but this mess makes that sound ironic. As the Bible says, remember the Lord your God, for it is he who gives you the power to get wealth. Some might have taken that a little too literally. According to the New York Post, it's an open secret in NBA circles that Tyronn Lue, who spends his off seasons in Las Vegas, is a huge poker fan. He's often spotted at the Aria High Limit Bar, known as the center of the NBA poker scene. There, Lue regularly hangs out with former NBA players, some of whom he later brought onto his coaching staff in Cleveland. One of them is his longtime friend Damon Jones, who's even been described as Lue's best friend. The New York Post pointed out that back in June 2024, Tyronn Lue and Damon Jones were seen sitting side by side at the World Series of Poker, cheering on a friend right on camera. The timing couldn't be wilder, especially now that both their names are tangled deep in this scandal. But here's the real issue. None of the athletes or coaches mentioned have any confirmed victims speaking out. And honestly, that's not shocking. People close to these underground games keep saying the same thing. I know what happened, but I'm not saying it publicly. Why? Because these poker circles were allegedly tied to mob figures and even hired muscle. Talking could literally put you or your family in danger. Sources claim these rings moved tens of millions, maybe even over $100 million across the country for years. No one wants to end up as the whistleblower on a mob hit list. That's why insiders stay quiet while fans watch in disbelief as names like Chauncey Billups, Antonio Gates, and Tyronn Lue surface again and again. For now, everyone's hoping federal investigators finally crack this open, because one thing's clear: where there's smoke, there's definitely fire. So what do you think? Just how deep is this scandal really gonna go? Do you believe some of these names are actually innocent, or are they just staying silent to save themselves for now? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I seriously want to know what you think about this wild situation. Thanks so much for watching and sticking with me till the end. Don't forget to like, share, and if you're new here, hit that subscribe button for more wild updates from Ball Stories. There's plenty more drama waiting for you. Catch you next time.